there are a lot of people in Home Alone 1 and 2 who were toxic, and Kevin was not one of them. Vlogmas, the three guys, I think we are really doing this. So this is my thoughts on Home Alone as a mom. So I am a mom to a 9-month-old, and I have watched quite a handful of films, and Home Alone is one of the films that I love so much that I have it on my phone, I have it on my laptop, it's on my TV, and I watch this thing at least every week. Yeah, you could say I'm getting addicted to it. Not really. I am trying to really put thought in it and see if this is a film I would like my child to watch. This is me telling you what I think about Home Alone as a mom. So these are my opinion on Home Alone as a mom. So Home Alone is a Christmas movie that was made in the year 1990. The first Home Alone 1990, and the part 2 came out in 1992. So these films came out even before I was born, but they are a classic. They are lovely. It is well told, it is well acted, and I think it's a classic. Like, it's timeless. I put Home Alone anytime, any day. I am a Gen Z and my mom is a Gen X, but we do enjoy this movie. Okay, so I think it's cut across to every age group. Okay, so now this film is on a child, Kelvin. So I would give my opinion with a stance of seeing Kelvin as my child. So I would come from a point of that thought of, imagine if Kelvin was my child, what would I do, what will I do? And at the end of the day, will I let my child, like my real child, watch this film when they grow up? So one, what is the whole thing about Home Alone and why Kelvin felt the way he felt? One, he didn't get enough attention from his parents. You could say parents have a lot of things to do and they never have time for themselves and all that. But if as a parent, the only time you have time for your kids is when to scold them, you're a bad parent. You see, you need therapy. You should change. If the only time you have time for your child is when you have heard that they did something wrong, and all of a sudden you have time to call them, to shun them, ask them to go upstairs or to apologize to people, you are a very bad parent. Please be with mom, be with dad. You're not a good parent. So why do we let the toxic people stay around our kids? Like, it's something that I do not understand, because Kelvin's cheapskate uncle is toxic. He's the health toxic, and he and his family, his entire family, would come into the house, like as in Kelvin's family home, and they'll spend the night, and would also go on a trip that is paid for by Kelvin's father. This is we as parents embracing people who are toxic to our kids, who makes the environment harsh, or or unlivable for our kids. So these are the two first things I tend to know that Kevin's parents did not do. They didn't give him attention, and he is the last child of his own parents, right? Then two was that they allowed toxic people around Kevin. Also, these toxic people were even Kevin's siblings. But I think that they could go through with being toxic to Kevin because they know that it was allowed there and they had a way of getting out with everything. Good. So now, the next thing I've seen about Kelvin is, I think because of how he was being treated in the home, he was ready for some kind of things because do not know how a child knew that when thieves who want to burglar a home and there are adults there, that's the key the burglars won't come into the home. So Kevin was smart, and I think that it came from a point of I have to survive without these people. Okay, now the next thing I actually saw in the film was Kelvin had some kind of faith in an upper entity, so I which I think is oh okay, like it wasn't really God, it was Santa Claus and all that. As for me, I'm sorry, I'm going to tell my child as early as I can that there is nothing as Santa Claus, it's fake. There is no one who is coming from the North Pole to do anything. Christmas is not about Santa Claus. I'm sorry, it is not about him at all. If the idea of Santa and everything does amuse you and your children, and you feel that you like that, please do it. But I think that it's okay that my child knows that the gift under the Christmas tree is from I and his dad. I think it is more okay. So my child actually knows that daddy and mommy loves me. Daddy and mommy puts this in place for me, and not some creature who does not exist. Okay, so I saw that Kevin has his faith in an upper deity, and even when it was not that deity doing anything, Kevin believed that it was the deity. In Home Alone 1, when Kevin was being a hot mess to his family, and they had to send him upstairs to go upstairs. So he actually said a thing to his mom, and he said, I wish I won't see you again or spend Christmas with you. And the next day it happened. He didn't know that his nonchalant family left him and went abroad. Okay, he thought it was what he had wished on Santa that came to pass. And even when he had finished with the thieves, he also wished that he would see his mom. And it was when the men from what drove mom home, right? And he saw his mom, and he thought it was an entity that doesn't exist, right? He didn't know that it was life playing its thing. Okay, it was life playing its thing. I would love my child to know when life is doing its thing and when it is a miracle from God. I think that these things are very important. Okay, like I also just think like this is my own opinion on it. Okay, I would love to know what your opinions are. Then what is it again? I didn't like the torture that Kevin had to go through. He is a child who had grown around family, and for 2 days or three, he had to stay alone, and he had to ward off the sons of the devil. I think that it was a hot mess for him to do. But also, I would also want to give Kevin his flower because this boy had the most amazing lies to tell that would save him. Like he told sweet lies that would save him and help him through his um trying to act safe from adults and all that. When he lied in store to the Duncan store, that the money he had on was from his many grandmothers that he had. When he lied to the Plaza Hotel, and what is it called, those who stay on the counter, that his dad is in a meeting and his dad had, like, the guy is intelligent. Okay, so let's go to the main thing. So from the point of being Kelby's mom, I think that they didn't do so well, but it was what helped us to see the character of Kelvin and to appreciate the character of Kelvin. So the next thing is, will I allow my child watch Home Alone? Of course, I would let my child watch Home Alone. Look, a film that is everywhere, that's everywhere, it means that it is approved. Okay, I will let my child watch Home Alone, but this is what I would do, and I would do this for every other films I let him watch, is that I would have to, as little as he can understand, explain some concepts to him. Okay, so he doesn't go around pouring kerosene in the toilet, or taking out wire from the socket as Kevin did, because that is film. It's a movie. It's not real, and this is real life, baby. So that is what I think about Home Alone, and I still think it's a beautiful movie. If you hadn't watched that Christmas movie yet, which I think is almost unusual, anyone who hasn't watched Home Alone, it came out in the year 1990 and 1992. I think it's a good movie, and as a mom, I would recommend. Bye.